Welcome back, guys, to Casually K9. Your main host, Casey, is here with his guest, Katie.
Guest. I'm Kate.
And I'm Casey. It has been one of those days where you just kind of, I hate to say it, but we're fitting this in today.
Yeah.
This is
You're listening to this, obviously, on Tuesday. We're recording on Father's Day. So Sunday, it's almost 4 p.m. for us. Feels like we've already done nothing and a bazillion things in one day today. So happy Father's Day to everyone. Hope that it was a good day for you guys. A little bit of a different day for us. Typically, we do see our dads on Father's Day. Must be a lot of travelers this weekend because we had a lot of boarding dogs for us. Like
it was a full house.
Yeah,
this
we
weekend.
had a really full house. You know, our full crew of training dogs and stuff. So we celebrated Father's Day a little bit early with our dads, but of course we wish that we could be spending the day with them. But
we spent some time with them a few weeks ago for birthdays and Father's Day and those types of things.
Can't get back for it all, but
yeah,
hope you guys are having a good one.
Yep. And today is one of those days where you don't realize everything that goes on behind the scenes until you actually experience it. And this goes for not just what we do, but obviously what many people do in their jobs and careers. Like you don't actually get to see what's going on until you're in their shoes.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those days where we had a lot of roadblocks.
Oh yeah. Starting the day off, your feet hit the ground after getting out of bed, and I feel like we both said, "Oh, I slept really good last night."
Yep.
And we already let the dog's owners know this, so this isn't news for anyone. But woke up to one of Casey's favorite things in the entire world, a poop explosion in the kennel room, which is never fun. And it's just the reality of what we do when you have so many dogs. Just think about your own. Like they get upset stomachs sometimes. I just tripped over my words. They get upset stomachs from time to time. It just so happened to be two dogs from the same household. So it was just not great.
Yeah, it was a lot going on in the morning, but we managed. We made her through.
Yeah, we made it.
We
barely.
kept our heads above water.
Whew, yeah. But then we went and got brunch after, and we're able to do a little bit of human stuff, because after things like that, it just forces you to get your day started in a way that you didn't intend. So for instance, Sundays are kind of our days where it's we like to have a little bit of Casey goes and does first outs, and we like to make a coffee. It's a day that we don't go to the gym. So it's a little bit of a slower morning for us. We like to hang out with our dogs, and none of that went,
it didn't go according to plan, but good thing we didn't have any concrete plans.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. So
besides our breakfast meeting,
meeting. It was not a meeting. It's just meeting friends. But
it was a meeting.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
wouldn't call it a meeting.
On top of all of that, I have been struggling this week with a back issue that has, I don't know what the word is. It sucks. So on top of all the things that happened this morning and our heavy load of dogs, it was just obviously it's never convenient for those things to happen, but I have been battling some back pain for tomorrow would be a week.
Yeah.
So I've been going to the chiropractor. I have a massage coming up to help that out. It has been getting better. I did overdo it a little bit yesterday because as soon as I feel it getting better, I immediately go out and try to get back
your
to
overdoing it was minimal for what you typically do, though. So that's probably why you thought that, because you haven't really been able to walk dogs. No. It's been, very much, luckily we've had such great walking help. So it's it didn't make your day in, day out, stuff with the dogs really challenging this week. No. A little bit, just from a standpoint of everything takes you a little bit longer, but that's okay. I mean, the dogs typically could use us to slow down sometimes, but so
thank God we had extra help.
Came on here though and just talked about how shitty of a week we had, because it wasn't.
It really wasn't a shitty week.
Bad week.
It was just
there was just some shit involved in the week. Excuse my language.
Obviously we told you guys about that, and then I've just been battling something that's been going on. Nothing that is woe is me or anything like that, but just
a little bit. Back pain hurts nothing. It or There's nothing like
Hurts
back
like
pain.
nothing?
It hurts bad. Like back pain, lower back pain is like the worst. But
yeah. So thank God we had extra walking help this week, and that just so happened to line up with this and
I felt
a heavier load of dogs.
I had an insane week from a standpoint of just like I was on the go all week, like going to Jen's for certain things, outings, all of the normal stuff that I'm doing. But I felt very productive this week. I felt like the dogs are on the right path. So
overall was a good week.
Yeah, I felt like it was a really good week. The weather was beautiful. Wasn't too hot. Wasn't too chilly. So yeah, it was a good week. Nothing to really complain about except for poop and back pain.
And yes. I want to kind of continue the saga about the lawnmower a little bit. Not that I want to continue it, but I just want to say that we got a new lawnmower because the other one was junk. So I took it back to the store. They gave me in-store credit. We got a new one. So we're able to cut the grass.
No one's as excited as Casey is about this. Crickets. It's so funny. Like, there's certain things that, like, you will never be extremely interested about that's like that I'm interested in and vice versa. And I think that's obviously so normal and totally okay. But the other day we're sitting on the couch and it was like in the evening and he's like, I want to ask your opinion on lawnmowers. Or maybe it was in the car. I don't remember where we were.
No. Yeah, it was on the couch.
It was on the couch.
Yeah.
And I like took a little bit of a deep breath because I kind of wanted to be like, I don't care. But I'm like, I'm not going to say that because he cares. So I took a deep breath and I go, hey, hon, like I support any decision you make on the lawnmower. Like I literally do not care. You want an electric? Get an electric. You want a gas? Get a gas. The only thing that we're not getting is a riding because we don't need it. But
we don't need it.
And you wouldn't want it. Like you like the extra, physical activity. But I'm just like, I literally don't want to hear one more thing about the lawnmower because I do not care.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It's not that I like sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming about lawnmowers. It's just like I like to have our property kept up nice, and that's just something that's involved with it. So had to get a new lawnmower.
You got your lawnmower.
We got her.
Yep. Should we give them the rundown on the giveaway?
Yes. So
this is episode 8. We will announce. Casey will give the details, but I'm just going to make sure the logistics are laid out. So this is episode 8. In 2 weeks from today, that'll be a Tuesday, episode 10, we will announce the winner. I'll pass it on over here to Casey to give you a rundown how to enter. But what you will win is a KANE9 sweatshirt, a KANE9 4-foot leash. It's actually the leash that I give all of our 2+ week board and train dogs to go home with. Has a KANE9 name on it and logo. Again, 4-foot clip standard walking leash. And then you will also get a copy of our ebook version of our KANE9 graduate handbook. And here is how you can enter.
Oh, okay. So what you're going to want to do is head to the podcast page on our website. So everything that I say here will be linked in the description of the podcast. So it's going to be super easy, but there's a password involved because we want this to be exclusive to you guys. So we'll announce the password this week and again next week on the 9th episode. And then, like Kate said, we'll announce it on the 10th. So what you're going to do is click on that podcast webpage. In the middle of the page, there's a button that you click that says enter the giveaway. Once you're prompted, you'll need to have a password. The password is Roadie.
That's okay.
It's pretty unique, right?
I mean, unique to, okay. Is it lowercase, uppercase?
You're gonna have to know the password. So capital RHODY. And then
the spelling bee champ, ladies and gentlemen.
Click the arrow button or the enter button, whatever it is. And then you'll be prompted with a little form that says, like, enter the giveaway. Just give us your name, your email. And then there's something else in there that says, tell us what you love about our podcast, because we love to know what you love about the podcast. And then you're in. So that's all it takes.
Yep, we'll be choosing one winner for this giveaway.
Yep. And again, all the links will be in the description. So it's super easy to do. And we hope that we see a lot of entries.
Awesome. What's our main topic for the day, sir?
Well, Katie, you know what?
Because I have a little something something after this.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to talk about something that we were left. What's it called? Hanging on a cliff last week?
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, we were hanging on a cliff. Hi, BB.
And that is achievement addiction in the dog industry.
What about it?
Tell me more.
Oh, my God.
Because you're the one that wrote it down.
Well, now that I wrote it down, I honestly don't remember exactly what I meant by that. I should have wrote notes.
Oh, man. Well, maybe we're not talking about this.
Okay. Say it to me again.
Achievement addiction in the dog industry.
Okay. I remember what I was thinking about this. I wrote in the dog industry because I was listening to a podcast, a business podcast that has nothing to do with dogs. And they were talking about achievement addiction just in general of like wanting to be really good at something, achieve that like goal, and do it all over again with something different.
Like what's next?
Yeah, what's next? What's next? And when I say in the dog industry, I kind of mean a little bit more like in the dog owner world. It seems so simple from a standpoint of what you want to accomplish with your dog. Like, I want to teach my dog how to sit. I want to teach my dog how to stay. I want to teach my dog how to down, all of those things. And as you accomplish it, it's like that feels really good for both you and your dog. And then you're moving on to the next thing. Let's teach down. Let's teach heel. Let's teach recall.
Like, what's the next challenge?
Yes, which is a beautiful thing. Like, yeah. I'm excited people are wanting to work on those things. But
I'm so guilty with that in my own life. Not even dog stuff, but like on to the next thing.
Same. But then what happens is you hit, and this is with your dog, this is with your business, this is with your relationships. You focus so heavily on all of the things that feel new, feel fresh, feel exciting. And then you hit a roadblock where it's like, okay, now it's just continuing to generalize these things out in public, continue to add in distractions. And that's where people want to throw in the white flag because they are now feeling like this is hard. This is not enjoyable anymore because that achievement is almost feeling unattainable at that point. So what I encourage people to do, because I am guilty of this big time, especially when I'm working with dogs where it's like, it's always worked for me 9 out of 10 dogs. And I get that 10th dog in that it's like, whoa, curveball. Like it almost makes you think like, what do I know what I'm doing? Like, what is going on? Why isn't this working? And again, every single dog is different, but like that's what kind of goes through your head when you get really good at doing something and achieving things and moving to the next. So when you're with your dog, try not to look at it as like, what is that next step that we need to achieve? Where I want you to set goals and I want you to really work towards those things that you want to accomplish with your dog. But remember, your dog is not a box that you check. It's a life and a relationship that you build for hopefully the rest of their life. You know, you want to not just be like, well, my dog's trained, they should know this. Well, my dog's gone to training, they should know this. And it's like, okay, but that's so unrealistic for you to think it's going to be, that's an achievement and now they should just forever stay, if you will. Like it should just stick immediately. So what's helped me when I feel kind of like almost a level of frustration or something like that, when it's like, oh my gosh, I know this dog knows this, is you have to take a step back and remember, like, they are going to have off days just like we are. We are not going to also always be the leader that they need us to show up for them every single day. Yeah. Like things change in our day in and day out life regardless. And we feel that and we can express it as humans in a way of like talking through it. Even just your mood shift. Like I'm very, very clear on when my mood shifts, and Casey knows that too, of like, if I'm just having like, and we both have it, but I'm just throwing myself under the bus. Like I'm in a mood. And sometimes it's just like, I don't know why I'm in a mood. I'm just in a mood. And like, let me be in this mood and let me try to shake it off and moving
honestly, on. That doesn't happen that often.
I'm just saying, like, yeah. I totally can any person can be like that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's like we need to give our dogs a little bit of grace with that as well, but also ourselves when it's like feeling like you're no longer achieving, and that like wanting to achieve and to do well and get the pat on the back and be told you're doing well, like sometimes that's not going to be there. And that needs to be okay, because if that's what you're always striving for, you're going to let yourself down, because it's not always going to be a linear path. And you can look at this with anything, with whether it's your dog in their actual training or how people perceive your dog. Like that's another big one that I can see, and not necessarily that it's like an achievement addiction, but like you want people, when you take your dog out in public and stuff, you don't want to be an annoyance. You don't want to be embarrassed. You want to make sure that you're doing everything right. But if you're more worried about what the other people out in public are going to think about, you know, your dog maybe having a moment or you missing timing on something, you're not going to go do it, or you're going to do it a few times and you're going to stop doing it.
I've so been there.
Yeah.
We've been there. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, let's regroup. Let's think about like what went well, what didn't go well, what we could do differently next time. And I think this can also, I don't want to go too long on this, but like this can also really connect to for other trainers. So I talk to quite a few, whether it's my shadow students or people are on virtual coaching sessions, of like, well, I have all of this going on, so I can't achieve this. Or, you know, well, I don't have that many followers. And I think the biggest thing to remember is we all started somewhere. Like I started with 0 followers. I started with 0 clients, just like everyone else. So I think that if you focus on the goals that you have, that's a beautiful thing, but not like your value isn't based on everything that you're achieving. Your value is based on the lives that you're impacting.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself of that, because we constantly want to add more to the mix.
Yep.
And like sometimes you need to stop. Like, and there's things that we've put our brakes on for, because it's like, wait, is that aligning for us as a whole, not just for K9? So I think that like I've very much fallen into the achievement addiction realm, because like I like doing things and I like accomplishing things, and I like feeling kind of like proud of myself from a standpoint of like, wow, look what we did. And then it's like, well, what's next? It's like, just sit in that for a little bit. Like sit in that. That feels good. And I think, Casey, you probably are like, yep, that's me, because...
Well, no, I was just going to say, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm the same exact way.
I feel like you're a little bit more on the gas pedal these days than I am, just because you've really found your like not way, but like you've found where like you bring value to K9. Like that is like a key component to what makes us what we are now today. That it's like, now that you have found that, I can tell you're very much like the what's next guy, where I'm kind of like, whoa, please, like I need a break, because
you know it involves you. And I have been pushing things.
Yeah. And so I think that's where it's like, I love, like, that's where I'm trying to, whether you're a dog owner, whether you're a business owner, whether you're in the dog industry or not, it's like, I think we just all need to really listen to what feels good to us, because, and like go with that. And I obviously get, and I know it's such a privileged perspective to be like, you know, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it feels good, do it. But like, I really do believe that if there are things that we want to accomplish and the process is like obviously hard work and you feel really good about it, great. Keep trucking along and you'll get there. But if it's something where it's just like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, where you're trying to put like a square peg into a round hole, it's like, why are we forcing something?
Analogy.
Honey, I did not make that up. People use that all the time.
No, but this is such a good message.
Well, good. Well,
so many people need to hear this.
And I that's why it's like, it's not just dogs. It's like, there's so much, it's relationships too. Like relationships are work, but I think so much about like our relationship, and we are not perfect by any means. And we have had our ups and downs, but like, we are not trying to put a square peg into a round hole. Like, it's like every day, even if we have our things, feels right. And every day, like choosing, us feels right. Every day choosing to do stuff with our dogs feels right.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that hard to get there if you are intentional, you trust yourself. I think that's like one of the biggest things, like for dog owners too, is like trust yourself. Like even if I give you advice, but you're like, hey, this works a lot better for my dog, I'm going to try this. Please do that. Like trust what is working for you, not just because you want to be like, oh, I achieved the heel that Kate teaches. Like we saw the other day, this was yesterday, an outing. His dog was not by any means very polite on the leash, but wasn't like doing anything crazy. There was some pressure on the leash, but like you could tell he was out there, and I've seen him before. His dog is muzzled and he is creating space for it around different, I think it must be dog reactive. It seemed very human friendly because there's this lady that asked if she could pet the dog, and the dog
was getting pets,
very much seemed to be enjoying it, and the owner said yes. And I'm like, that's a beautiful thing right now. Like they're doing so many things I wouldn't do, and guess what, it's working great for them in this moment. Yes, I didn't see, like that was one just example, but I'm going a little bit off on a tangent, but shocker, that's me. But yeah, I think it's just like we all naturally have this, and I think social media has created a lot of this for us, because even just look at like the influencer world, and no shade on anyone that like sells products and codes and all of that, but it's like, look at the quick, like for instance, I fall for stuff all of the time. Casey doesn't, but I totally do. Like if I see someone in their stories and they're like, I have a code for 25% off and I've been wanting to try that product, I am buying it. And so for them, it's probably like, sweet, I just have to post a story, check that box, like achievement. So our world has created this even more. I feel like for our generation, like I'm 31, Casey's 29. So us millennials, like we are so focused on, like, I feel like two realms. We are achievement addicted people, but also like kind of this, riding this vibe of like, wait, but we want to do life in a way that feels good. We don't want to just follow this path because that's what our parents did. So it's like a fine line.
It totally is. I think there's days where, for instance, I used to get caught up, especially early on when I transitioned to working with you full time. I used to get caught up in like how many Instagram followers we had, like, and
I didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, like we obviously love our following, and like it's grown so much, and we're so thankful for that because it's opened us up to many more people. But in the beginning, when we were posting stuff, it's like if we posted something, if we didn't see more followers, it's like, what did we do wrong? We need to do something else. And that wasn't necessarily like why it happened that way. There's certain things that happen behind the scenes, but certainly like we don't want to just post content just to gain followers. We want to post content that is helpful,
bringing value
to others. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I totally, in the beginning, and I get it, because it's like, what's the point of being on Instagram if no one's seeing your stuff? Like that's how I felt from a business perspective. But for you, it was yes, you looked at the followers, but like, so you would like put a little pressure on me, and I was like, dude, like I don't care. And then you're like, oh, okay. Like I think that maybe it was like you almost felt like, are my videos not good enough to scale the page or something like that? Because it's like, once I told you, like, Case, I'm not focused on how many followers we have. I'm focused on, are we helping people? And once that has been like our scope, like for both of us, truly, when we stopped thinking like, how is this going to potentially like build to gain more followers or whatever, the followers continue to grow and we get more views when we're focused on, can we bring value?
When we just focused on ourselves and like you said, bringing value to our clients, was a genuine organic idea that we just thought of. And we're just like, hey, let's do this. Let's throw this in the mix. Let's see how it works. If it doesn't work, we'll maybe try something else. Yeah,
I was actually on a walk with someone today who comes and helps us do walks, and she obviously like watches our stuff, and I was telling her, I'm like, truly, like we put ourselves out there in a way that, like through our videos and stuff like that, that is extremely vulnerable. I've gotten like, I have such a tough skin compared to what I used to, but like, we put things out that we really hope that people take a step back and understand a 20-second video is a 20-second video.
Right.
But people take things so out of context so quickly. But what our focus is, because I get people that are not nice, and that's okay.
All the time.
But I get more people that I'm helping that will message me because they don't want to comment on it saying, thank you so much for posting that. I have struggled with it for years, and now I'm finally trying, let's just throw it out there, the prong collar. I'm finally trying the e-collar, and I'm implementing it in the way that you guys are showing, and I'm able to take my dog outside of my home. Like that type of stuff happens all the time. And so I'm like, you know what? A big middle finger to the people that want to come and blast me or talk negatively. You start talking negatively about like my owners or the dogs that I'm showing, you got something else coming for you. But if it's me, I'm like, whatever. Just delete it and block.
I didn't realize you got messages about that from like you're saying, from people who didn't necessarily feel the need to comment, but DM'd you directly.
They don't say like, hey, I didn't comment. I could just tell. Like, they'll be like, I saw this video you posted. Right. Yeah. And some of them will screenshot and post into my stories. And obviously not share anyone's names and stuff like that. But yeah.
No, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
It's not like I get like bazillions of them, but like here and there I'll get some for sure.
That's the kind of stuff that like keeps us going though. Yeah. We're like, all right, we helped someone today who was really struggling. They found the missing link in their relationship with their dog. I will say
I'm a little bit of an achievement addiction, or have a achievement addiction when it comes to that a little bit. Like I love seeing people or like helping people and knowing that they're actually getting out with their dogs, because there's just nothing worse than feeling like you can't go out with your dog, because you could just be like, you know what, shame on those owners for not getting out with their dogs. But it's kind of like, no, like I get it. Like if it's really, really hard and you live in a space where it's like literally every day you have to mentally prepare. Like right now we have one of our boarders back. Well, he trained with us and he's back for boarding, and he's a really tough dog, like really tough. And his owners try so hard, and he's tough for us.
They're good owners,
and they're such good owners. And you know what? They have to figure out how he's going to work within their lifestyle that's good for everyone. So like they're the owners that are like getting a treadmill, like literally following everything we say to a T. And if we're like, hey, I want you to try something different, let's try this, they're like, okay, we'll try it. And they're doing the best they can. And that's where a lot of owners are doing the best they can. So when you are finding yourself kind of stuck in this rut of like, I'm not doing enough, I need to achieve the next thing because I'm seeing someone on social media, or I'm seeing Kate with her board and trains doing this. Like, remember, it is a snippet of time in these dogs' lives when they're with us. So don't feel like you need to accomplish or achieve something in 2 weeks with your own dog. Like if it's my dog, like when we got Birdie, like Casey said, she was my little project with every little pocket of time. And her recall, like solid recall with her, didn't come for like 2 months, which is not that long either. Like that's really not long. But
2 months out of her whole life.
Yeah. And that's her living with a trainer.
And our board and trains are 2 to 3 weeks out of their whole life.
And I am one of those trainers too that will always say, this is not a guarantee. I do not say, yes, we're an off-leash program, but like, no, like it's so relationship based. So all of our dogs go home on long lines. I tell the owners, hey, do not lose the leash. There's most often not spaces where you should just have your dog off leash, but like it's so unfair to think that every single owner and every single dog is going to be able to do every little thing when their dog goes home.
That's a hell of a lot of pressure
for everyone,
for the dog, trainer, and owner.
Human. And I will not do that. Yes, we practice all of this stuff so hard, but like if you've been a part of our go home, you know it's talking about like, hey, I want you to act as if you're bringing home a dog who knows little bits of things and let them blow you away, but they're going to act like they only know little bits here and there. There are some that like go home and their owners are like, this is perfect. I'm like, give it a few days. And it's like clockwork where they're like, hey, Kate, you were right. I'm like, I know I was right. Like I know. And
Yeah.
it's just because dogs are hilarious and they are like, hey, let me see what I can do here.
Yeah.
And,
Opportunistic for sure.
their environment is going to give them all of the answers. So, so honestly, I don't even know if that's why I wrote that down. Next time I'm listening to a different podcast that's like, because I listen to a lot of like, not a lot, but like some business development, personal development mixed with like random talking like this. And it stems my like, oh my gosh, that's relates so much to dogs. So I need to write better notes next time.
Well, regardless, I loved that talk. I think that's probably one of my favorites so far.
Guys, just go back. He says this every week. But thank you so much for being my number one fan.
Awesome, honey.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I have something for you.
Good. What is it?
Okay, so we are going to play oopsies. False or fiction, okay?
What?
Or true or false. Okay? So the topic
False or fiction?
like wait, what did I say?
False
Fact.
or
I said fact or fiction, didn't I?
Yeah. No, you said false or fiction.
Okay. Fact or fiction
Or
true or false.
True or false.
Whatever tickles your tummy. Ew. Kate,
all right, I'll just let you know whatever's tickling my tummy.
Kate, never say that again. Okay, so the topics are animals. Sharks are mammals.
I feel like this is a trick. False.
Ding, ding, ding. They are actually classified as fish.
Okay, good.
Sea otters have a favorite rock they use to break open food.
Where did you get these questions or
Nope,
statements?
this is mine. So
Okay.
answer.
Oh wait, no. True.
Ding, 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 ding. How cute is that?
I love otters.
They keep their treasures in their loose skin under their arms.
Adorable.
Should I start keeping treasures under my loose skin on my arms? The blue whale is the biggest animal to have ever lived.
Blue whale. Animal?
What?
Like bigger than are we talking like bigger than dinosaurs and stuff like that?
The blue whale is the biggest animal to have ever lived.
Okay, yeah, no context behind it. False.
True. That also includes dinosaurs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a cat on the
Cat's
table.
on the table.
The hummingbird egg is the world's smallest bird egg.
Ooh. True.
Ding, ding, ding. On the flip side, ostriches lay the largest eggs. I feel like I could be a National Geographic. Wow.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Gosh, that would be
God,
so
they have
cool.
some amazing footage.
Yeah. Pigs roll in the mud because they don't like being clean.
False.
Ding, ding, ding.
They roll in the mud to cool down, don't they?
Pigs have few sweat glands and their muddy baths help keep them cool.
Oy.
Wee. What was that noise you just...
Oy.
Oy.
I got that right.
Oy. Okay. Bats are blind.
What, bats are blind? True. Really?
False. Bats often find their way using ultrasound, but their eyes work, just not particularly well.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew that they had the ultrasound thing.
Yep.
So I just assumed that they were blind.
I'm teaching you so much.
So much.
A dog
Wow.
sweats by panting its tongue.
True. What?
Casey. False. Canines sweat through their glands and their paws. Sweating is not panting. They're just panting because they're
Their
hot.
paws get wet?
They're through their glands. Yes.
I didn't know that.
It takes a sloth 2 weeks to digest a meal.
I have no idea. True.
Ding, ding, ding.
That was a
That's
guess.
the slowest digestion time of any mammal. The largest living frog is the Goliath frog of West Africa.
It sounds like it's pretty big. So I'm going to say true.
Ding, ding, ding. This amphibian reaches lengths of 12.5 inches and weighs 7.2 pounds. Ew.
A frog?
A 7-pound frog.
Damn, that's
Sick.
huge.
An
Africa's
ant
wild.
can lift 1,000 times its body weight.
True.
False. Ants can lift 5,000 times their body weight.
So you said 1,000 times, and that's actually 5,000?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know. Wow, ants are strong. But think about that. Like an ant probably weighs 0, like literally if you
Yeah,
put
have
it
to
on
get
a
out, like
scale.
the micro scale.
Yeah. And so a leaf would probably weigh 5,000 pounds or 5,000 times more than
You don't see one ant carrying a whole leaf.
Have you ever seen the movie Ants? They literally carry a whole leaf.
One of them?
Yep.
That's a movie.
Well, it's probably pretty spot on.
Do you have more?
Yep. When exiting a cave, bats always go in the direction of the wind.
Direction of the wind? So the wind's coming at them or behind them?
It doesn't say that. When exiting a cave, bats always go in the direction of the wind.
False.
Ding, ding, ding. Bats always turn left out of a cave. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah. Look at her just sitting.
Yeah. If you guys are watching it on YouTube,
our cat is just sitting and staring
right in
at
the middle
us.
of the shot.
She's like, it's almost dinner time.
Yeah. She's asking
okay,
for
this
dinner.
is my last one.
Okay.
Galapagos tortoises sleep up to 16 hours a day.
False.
True.
I was
And
gonna
they
say
can
more.
go a year without food or water. So they have
What?
lots of time to sleep. Oh my gosh. I wish I was a Galapagos tortoise.
A year without water?
Without food or water, yeah. Actually, I don't wish I was that, but I'm just saying I wish I could sustain like that level of
Sustain.
sustain. Isn't that what I said?
Did you say stain?
No, I wish I could stain that.
Oh.
No, sustain. My second S just didn't come through very clearly.
Oh. Well, those are very interesting facts. I never knew.
Okay, well, I'm bringing at a different date a different topic, but true or
Okay.
false. They're fun to do.
Something I forgot to add about our giveaway is...
Oh my! Well, hopefully
No.
you guys have listened.
No, I didn't tell them how we're going to pick a winner.
Oh,
So everybody's entries will be put into basically a random name picker, and then we'll just pick a name. So
Name picker.
we're not just going to go through and like pick a favorite name or something like that. It'll be all random. I just want to make sure that is clear.
Yeah.
So everybody enters and has an equal shot at winning.
yeah.
So and that'll go for anybody. So if you decide to enter after we talk about the 9th episode, you're still in, you know. So only one entry will get you in too.
Yep. All right.
I just want to make sure that's clear.
You're crystal clear, man.
Okay. Cool. Peeve and highlight of the week.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So I'll just start with my peeve.
Okay.
My peeve has been my back this week.
Yeah.
I think I talked about that already, but it's just, you don't realize again until you're injured or you need to use something, how much you really rely on it. So yeah, it's been that, but it's getting better. I can feel it.
Good. Okay. My peeve. I didn't come prepared with one. Do you have your highlight so I can think a little longer?
Are you sure? You don't have it?
Yeah, give me a second. You tell your highlight. Dang it.
My highlight of the week was I'm between two things.
At least you have options. I'm over here like,
What was the highlight?
What?
What was the well, maybe you didn't have that bad of a week. Or maybe there's not anything that really sticking out at you.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure I was peeved about something. But
Yeah.
probably nothing major.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say my highlight was just the weather was really good this week.
Yeah.
It allowed us to do a lot of outdoor things. Like it wasn't super hot. It wasn't cold. It was just really nice.
Okay, I have my peeve, and this isn't to like roast Casey.
Her butt's is right in the
Well,
camera.
it's just life with Ducky.
Okay.
This isn't to roast Casey or anything, but I live
boy.
with him, so it's like it's just sometimes the things are going to involve him. Going into either a cupboard or a fridge for something I'm really looking forward to having, and it's not there for me to have.
Oh yeah, you get
there's-
pissed.
There's just certain things
I shouldn't say
we-
pissed. You just get ticked.
Yeah, there's certain things that like are Casey's and certain things that are mine. And there's certain things that's just anyone can eat. And I go in for one of my nut butters, my lemon nut butter, and wow, one of the animals must have gotten into it. Literally, I go in and there's enough for me to like scrape under a fingernail.
Hey.
I'm like, I literally was like, Casey, did you eat my lemon nut butter? He says no, which is a lie. Like,
No, I did not say no. I said I did not have the whole thing
Yeah, you
because
literally left-
we agreed to share that one. Yeah, we did because you ordered it, and I was like, "Can we please share this one? I really like it."
I know, but sharing means I take a teaspoon and you take 6 tablespoons.
Fine,
To eat
I'll
in
just
one
get
sitting.
my own lemon one next time.
I think that's a great idea. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Highlight.
My highlight of the week.
She's only doing that because she doesn't have a highlight yet. She's dragging it out.
I probably got to sing a song.
Highlight of the week. You want to think about it for a second? I got something else to add.
Okay, sure.
Another thing I want. Speaking of adding things, we are adding something else, and that is we are going to be selling our hands-free leashes on our website. So if you've seen on any of our Instagram stories, we've been using these awesome hands-free leashes from Mountain Dog Products. They're really fun. We're really enjoying using them.
I have my highlight.
Hold on, hang on to it.
Okay.
And so we've been getting a lot of questions about where we can get those. So we just talked with Mountain Dog last week, and we're getting a shipment in. We're going to be selling them on our website. So if you're interested, I'll also post a link in the podcast description. Go check out the hands-free leashes. We're also going to have our KANE9 leashes on there as well. So I think those are going to be a hot commodity because we've
awesome.
already gotten a lot of questions about where they can buy those. So, and they're really fun.
Yeah, I like them. The colors are cool. Okay, my highlight of the week, and I know there's more, but I thought this one just like sticks out to me. So we met up with Jen and her training dog, and I know she's just sitting there.
Right in the
shot. Casey and I both took a training dog. So there's 3 KANE9 training dogs there. And then we met up with another trainer friend, and they brought 2 of their training dogs. And it was Casey with 4 ladies. And my highlight was just like them getting to experience Casey's commentary and like all genuinely like laugh. Not at him, but like he's looking for people to make people laugh. And I'm just thinking,
say it how it is too.
Yeah, and he just like, they thought it was so funny, and I'm just thinking like that's day in and day out. Like that's my life all the time.
You don't even laugh anymore though.
No, that's not true. But I think it was just one of those moments where it's like I act a certain way that like you probably just get used to, and vice versa.
Totally.
So it was just like, oh, cute, because they were all like genuinely laughing, and I'm just thinking, wait, this is so normal. So it's just one of those things of like the little things, not that I take it for granted, but it's just normal to me now for you to like have weird, quirky commentary about the dogs. So it was just funny because
I give them nicknames.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Did you want to make this your highlight, man? You're just
no.
You're just like that. I'm
just
talking
adding
about
on to
you.
yours.
Yeah. So that was my highlight. Is them like
that was a
getting
great
to
highlight.
See you as you. Not that you wouldn't, but like sometimes you're just like quiet at the outings. Like us girls get together and we just and you just kind of are there.
Just chit chat.
Yeah. But this time you were very involved in the discussion, and they're all cracking up at you and stuff like that. But
yes. So thank you everybody so much for listening and tuning in, which is why we're doing the giveaway. Again, the password is Rhody, capital RHODY. Enter the giveaway. If you like this podcast, give us that 5-star review. Invite your friends.
Share it with a friend.
Invite your mom and dad. Invite your coworkers. Listen in.
Invite your neighbor.
Yeah.
Invite your uncle.
Go knock on your neighbor's door like 9 p.m. and be like, hey, I'm listening to this podcast.
Go shoot off fireworks in their driveway and be like, listen to the Casually Canine podcast. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that.
Yeah, we don't condone any of the things we just said.
Yep.
So, okay.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay. Nope. Nothing else to add. Okay, cool. Yep. We'll check in with you again soon.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
Hey, you ruined our bye.
Bye.
Bye.